like I said, I mean, stand at the door of the room where you sleep and then look around and say, does that make me feel relaxed? Is that conducive to sleep? Of course, one of the biggest offenders is the television. That's like, just an absolute no-no for me is no televisions in the sleep space.
The TV lobbyists would be angry at you because we have no TV in our room. We have our cell phones we plug into the bathroom in a separate area because it's far enough to hear the alarm, but it's not close enough to wonder.
Put your head on your pillow, stick your arms out. You should not be able to touch your phone. I can't always get people to get it completely out of their room, but the thing to avoid with the technology at night is that sort of knee-jerk reaction to turn on the screen and shine the light in your face. The other aspect of sleep hygiene is really thinking about how your daily habits around food, exercise, fluid consumption, are all of those things sort of supporting a good night of sleep. And the big offenders, I think, are caffeine and alcohol. And not to say that you can't have caffeine and alcohol, but most people need to cut out the caffeine 10 hours before they go to bed. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, that would be around noontime. If you go to bed at midnight, that would be around 2. And alcohol is a tricky one because it makes people feel relaxed. It even makes them feel sleepy. But as alcohol is metabolized, it really messes up our sleep. What I usually suggest when it comes to caffeine and alcohol is a little bit of an experiment. Try going a week with no caffeine and no alcohol and see how your sleep is. And then, again, come back to that mindful decision. I remember I had a patient years ago she had a lot of insomnia problems, and she was about 78 years old. And, she's telling me that on Thursday night, she'd go out to dinner with her friends and she'd have a couple glasses of wine and her sleep was a mess. So she decided not to drink. And she said, yeah, I slept better, but my friends made fun of me and we didn't finish a whole bottle of wine and they gave me a hard time because I was wasting their money. And so I think I'm just going to have a glass of wine and not sleep well on Thursday nights. This is the kind of like mindful decision making. But, and she said, at some point, if it really bothers me, I know that if I totally stop drinking alcohol, I sleep better. But I really kind of appreciated her perspective because we don't live to sleep, we sleep to live. And again, I think some of these little experiments, I love to have coffee after dinner and I know it will keep me awake. So for me, it's something I do once or twice a year.
Right.
But I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting when you make the calculations about when anyone's adopting a new habit, there's like the 5-star version of the habit, which is you're some freak that has no friends and all you do is sleep really, really well and get all these amazing benefits. And then there's somewhere in the middle where like you live your life and you try to get the best out of it. And part of that, like you said, is experimenting. You have to know. So the caffeine thing is really interesting because I'm coffee obsessed. I love coffee. I love the act of making it. I got all this different stuff to make it. I love going out to coffee. When we travel, coffee is as important as food. It brings you into fun pockets of the city that you wouldn't find, and you meet different people. Like some of our best memories traveling in different countries are these really cool little cafes. That's coffee driven. But following your seminar, you were talking about the half-life of caffeine is how many hours?
The half-life is about 5 hours.
5 hours. Yeah. So I heard that and I was like, whoa, okay, well, there's one of my problems, right? Is I'm going through the day, I'm training a lot of clients, and then I'm about 4 or 5, I'm having like a Celsius or a coffee or an iced coffee, not thinking about it, maybe not even needing it, but I know that I was having it. And I was like, that's at least a place to start. I don't have to take coffee away from myself because that's not the end goal, right? I love it. She loves the wine. You like having coffee after dinner. But to choose when and where you do that so that you get what you want, that you get your cake and eat it too kind of thing.